Today we're gonna turn this sucker on and see what we can do. Right now this machine completely stopped working. I hit the power button on, nothing comes on. Make sure that the power's on, nothing comes on. Everything is dead. Don't know what to do here. We have a hefty duty Radeon card in here. All of a sudden it just stopped working completely. All the memories embedded properly. Everything looks like it's correct install. It was working fine. If you guys can see the dust in here, I'm gonna have to clean it up. It just stopped working, you know, from as soon as we did an upgrade on the actual video card, played a couple of games and then just completely died out. So my theory here, it could be the actual power supply. I'm not getting any power at all. It's not turning on anything. Normally we plug it in, something lights up. Today nothing is lighting up, not even the actual little light, the red light that turns on in here when there's power, indicating that there's power. But unfortunately it's completely dead, and the only suspect that I think it is is the power supply. We have here an adapter that I have, an extra adapter to test the power supply by itself. First we're going to run the test by itself, make sure that the power supply is working prior to the motherboard, or it could be a motherboard issue, it could be multiple issues. But today suspect number one, it's looks like the power supply. We're gonna do that, and if you guys don't have this, you can order this online. Is to test your power supply without anything connected to it. Normally you need a motherboard or something to trigger the whole system out, but today we only have this, and we're gonna go ahead and plug it in and test it out from here and see how it works. So let's disconnect this completely out of it, and let's do a little time lapse and see how we can do. The way we're going to test it out is simple, right? Like I told you, I have this adapter here that was specifically pinned. If you guys can see, I'm going to actually post this so you can buy this online. It has 2 pins in there. There are already triggering, it's for triggering the system. I'm not familiar with the 100%. I just use this a lot. I know that. Making the pins is easy. I've done it before. I actually created my own, but this one I purchased. So let's go ahead and start. We're gonna plug it in, the motherboard connection. All right, here's a motherboard. All you have to do is follow the same connection as you had it in the motherboard, the 40 and the 20 together. All right, plug it in. Let me line it up first. There we go. Line it up. Simple as puzzle pieces. Connecting it. That's the power supply right now. Make sure you're doing it in a non-static area, all right? So you don't want to be away from everything. This is wood, so we're okay right now. Then we just locate the power. We're gonna plug something in here, or we just leave it by itself too, all right? So you can see the actual power adapter. So let's plug it in, and we're gonna turn it on. And as you can see, it is the power supply. It's completely dead. I'm not getting anything whatsoever, so no power whatsoever. That was the suspect, the actual power adapter. So I do have a couple of them that we're gonna test out too, and if you can see, the fan is not even running. It's completely dead. So that's one way I was able to test out things prior to testing out. I know a lot of people reset the memory, the CPU, GPU, and all that crap, but normally when you do this a lot, you know exactly what it is. All right, there is no power to any of the systems or any of the lighting or anything like that. That's an indication that it's a power supply. First, because I've not tested out for quite a while, and I don't know why I replaced it. It's a cool message, a really good system. I mean, so we're gonna take a look. I'm gonna replace it. We're gonna plug it in, and we're gonna see if the fan turns on. So let's go ahead and pull all these things out, plug it in, and test it out. There it is. I'm gonna bring the camera a little closer. So it's turning on. So it is working. I don't have anything connected to it right now, but this is how you test it out with this component. So I'm gonna turn it off right now, completely off. no more power. It's gonna stop. And we're gonna add this power supply to the system that we had.